Okay, so here we go. It's the last minute, last hour project deadline for Leona's history class. All six sections, I guess, because there's four class periods and two groups of distance education students, DEs. Um, and that's pretty much that's what it is. So this is a super exciting live stream. This is easily the most interesting thing on YouTube at the moment. It's me sitting here in my office. It's my office. Here I am, sitting in it, doing nothing. Well, not nothing. I mean, I'm over here monitoring the local Pokemon Go scene, which is very important. Um, and although pretty quiet and not um, not too terribly exciting tonight. Um, uh, what was I gonna say? So then there's projects which I will be scoring through the evening. That will not come up on the screen share for the live screen, although I will share kind of the projects roll in by their hundreds. I will share the some of the numbers from that and whose projects are coming in at the last minute. So far today, 3, 7, 9, 12, 16, 24, 25, 26, 27 projects or bits of projects for the day today. Usually we are in the 60s at this point. I think part of that has to do with it being Saturday. Normally our project deadline is on a weekday, but that wasn't going to work out today, so or this week. So we're doing it on a Saturday, and that means that I think it means that you get a lot fewer people submitting projects at this point. Maybe that's not true, but we're substantially fewer than we have been. Some of these look to me like they're multiple submissions per student. So, well, let's see here. Let's just pick one at random here. And let me share the screen on this. That's a lot of possible things to share. I do have huge amounts of tabs open, which is typical. Yeah. All right, so as you can see, here's our submissions for the day. To scroll quite a bit to get through all of them. First one came in at from Audrey Heinrich this morning at 1:46. Oh, that's 1:46 p.m. 10:07 a.m. Serena was the first one in the gate. As you can see, there's a whole bunch from yesterday too, and a lot more actually from yesterday on Friday than so far from today, which I'm not sure the reason for that. Maybe it's just the way weekends function. But regardless, there we are. So, Ace along at 11:04 makes number 28 for the day today. I've scored, I believe, 17 today. So I've only lost 11. But Schoology tells me, do I have a Schoology tab I can use here? I think maybe I do. Hold on one moment. I don't think I wanted to do that. Oh, Michael Shot. Okay, we can do that. So here's what I see from Schoology. That kind of show you what I see here. I've complained Schoology handles this function for good reasons. Honestly, here's what I see. This is my master screen here. When I log in, as you can see, there's a fair number of things that need to be dealt with over here on this is the to-do upcoming. And all of these due dates are today at 11:59 p.m. So we'll see what happens to this list at midnight. Maybe it'll all disappear. That would be kind of cool if it did. But up here it says 7 ungraded assignment submissions and 32 resubmitted assignments. Now look. I just showed you the inbox for just the last 2 days. That's more than 39 projects just there. That's just separate emails. And each one of these, let me go back to it here. Each one of these emails that I get is like here. Here's an example. Here's Ali Reese. These are 2 emails. It aggregated the 2 into a single email, but one of them's at 1:44 p.m. and one of them's at 10:48 p.m. So Ali Reese submitted 2. Here's Brooks Burgess at 10. He submitted a lot of projects, but the thing is, this doesn't necessarily tell me. I'd have to click on this, and then what would happen is this would tell me his latest submission is 10:33 p.m. He had a second one also at 10:33 p.m., another one at 10 p.m., another one at 10:01, another one at 10 flat, another one at 9:23 p.m. So as you can see, fairly large number of these projects are rolling in here, and all of these technically count as separate projects. There probably would be separate projects, but they might be separate submissions for the same project. So getting an accurate number for how many projects have actually been submitted is going to be somewhat problematic. But in addition to which, it's not really helpful for me for Schoology to say, oh, you have 38 ungraded or 34 ungraded resubmissions. I don't know what that doesn't mean anything. And obviously it's false. There's more than 20 right here on this screen, let alone, scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And shout out to Kit Kat Harris for her submission at 11:07 in our final hour. The second contestant for our drawing. Actually third, I guess. And Ellie Smith here. I have to check Ellie here. All right. So Ellie had one submission at 10:59. That one does not count in the last hour, but this one's at 11:01, so it does. So we have 3 submissions in the last hour. They're going to go into a drawing for some kind of prize. I haven't decided yet exactly what that's going to be. Maybe free project points, maybe a candy bar, or I don't know. Um, I hesitate to do that because if I start giving out prizes for people submitting their projects in the last hour, then all I'm doing is getting a bunch of people who wait until the last hour to submit their projects. Of course, it's a significant problem if you do that because one, your chances of hello snowy mount. Um, thanks for the hi back. Um, we have 6 people on this live stream. I really struggle to believe. Oh, hi, Elsa. I struggle to believe that there are actually 6 people in my acquaintance bucket who have so little to do that this is the best thing they could be doing with their time at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. But I'm glad you're here because it's kind of lonely, to be honest. So anyway, hey, it's a normal time if you say so. I didn't get off the airplane from Boise until 4 o'clock this afternoon. So hey Nat, um, so I'm a little gassed. It was a pretty rough week in terms of it's theoretically possible that I have too much to do. I mean, you know, just finish this with the Star Wars party. Cool. Star Wars parties are awesome. Why did I capitalize a T in this? I don't know. I didn't even notice. I'm not likely to. So all week long, I've been forgetting. Well, a week, I guess it's been more longer than that. I've been forgetting things like 8:13 a.m. That's crazy. Good morning, then. I need a long vacation. Yeah, you're not kidding about that. Like today, this whole trip was just like this. So I left. I usually fly up to Boise. It was my last class up in Boise on Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock. When I fly up there, which is often, I usually take the latest flight that I can get out of Salt Lake City, which is 12, 11:30 flight out on Thursday night. It lands about 12:30, which means that I usually get to bed at the Peterson's house at around 1 o'clock. But this time there was a medical emergency on the flight as we were pulling out from the gate. Some lady had a serious medical problem about 10, 15 rows ahead of me. They had a doctor. One of the people in first class was a doctor and came to check on her, and they took her up to the bathroom. And there was no panic. I mean, she didn't have a heart attack or anything like that, but it was serious enough that they taxied us out to the runway and then taxied us back to the gate and got her off the plane. Then they had to refuel, they had to recalibrate the weight ratio and all of that kind of thing. And so there's Elena Hall, who, by the way, does not need any more project points. I'm sure that's like some violation of privacy or something to tell you that, but she doesn't actually need any more project points at this point. So this is her 21st project submission, I think, for the semester. Try to count that. Hey, Nathan. I'm glad to see you, sort of, metaphorically speaking. If we were on Zoom, then I could actually see your lovely faces, and that would be cool. But I thought I would try. I haven't done a YouTube live in a while, and I thought I'd try this out. So anyway, so Katharina, hey Kat, saw that you submitted a project here at 11:07. You're in our YouTube Live's less glitchy. Okay, cool. That's good to know. I'm mostly a broadcaster, not a watcher, so I don't really know that well what's like on the other side. So I'm happy to know that this is a better experience. Anyway, so they got her off the plane and then they taxied us back out to the tarmac. And by the time I actually got to bed in Boise, it was 2:30 a.m. And then my class is at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Got up fairly late, but I don't sleep very well after about 8 a.m. So got up fairly late for me. Went, did the class, forgot some stuff that um, I needed to bring to the class, but it was a fun class, last class of the year. So we discussed the Constitution for um, hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, and then we had a party. I grilled some chicken, and we had a bunch of sides from using traditional recipes from Revolutionary War time. It was kind of fun. It was a fun class. Hello, David. And then was my latest thought about the Roman Empire was about 20 minutes ago. I had a project that dealt with Rome, specifically Marcus Aurelius, so I had some time to think about that. I thought about it a lot the day before. Then on my way to the airport this morning, they moved my flight, bounced it around all over the place. But then I finally, the flight's supposed to take off about about 11 o'clock and lands in Utah about 12:15, and I usually get home about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But as I got to the airport, I realized that I had left one of my bags at the Peterson's house, so I had to go back and get that. I've been struggling, and there's another one from Elena, so that's 22 projects this semester. I better check this comment here. You need my email. Okay, cool. For this stuff, that would be Brucey at Leahona Ed. That will, that's probably the best place to send it. So I didn't get home until about 4, and I'm a little raggedy. I've been having trouble with that right along here the last month or so. More on the Odysseus project. Cool. There's Husky. This is a YouTube link. I knew this project was coming in via YouTube. Maybe Winston. I couldn't submit both, so I put it in the comments. Okay, well, I think you can submit both. Oh, that's okay. Gleason, forgot to pick. Emily Cutler. Meant to turn this in on Thursday. Juliana, couldn't get the rubric to work until we screenshotted it because my sister has problems with saving stuff because the computer hates her. So you only need to look at the first submission for the first project and the first link that I sent in the comments and the fourth submission for the second. This is a comment from Hannah to you, Brother C, because I'm crazy, but at least my sister got her project sort of turned in. So yeah, love you, Brother C, from both of us. And that's the sort of commentary. I'm going to put a message. Let's see what we did. Oh, that's Elena explaining her project here. Okay. So I've kind of been struggling this whole quite a while, trying to make sure that. Oh, and we have Elaine Anderson. 10:59. Pageant, and we got sheep today. Cool. Let's see what we got here. And there's Nathan sharing. So these have to count too. Technically, this project, cool. Look at this. Elaine, you wonderful person. Cool. All right. Since this one actually finished coming in at 11:02, this one has to count as the last hour submission. So that's 29, 30, 31 projects submitted today. And only 5 or 6 so far in the last hour. That's somewhat unusual. I love you too. I'm glad to hear. Cool. All right. So we're at 30. You have officially submitted. I'm glad, Nathan. Elaine, who missed my Star Wars party for homework. Priorities. Anyway, so I probably didn't tell you guys the tithing story, did I? A couple classes I told, and a couple classes I didn't tell. So I don't remember who submits their projects on time. Well, I've only had 7 emails today. I've been counting those from people asking for project extensions. That would be the lowest number of project extension requests that I have received yet. Cool. So what Alana is doing is lip syncing / singing through this whole thing about the Odyssey. So it's been kind of fun. She's on episode 24, and it looks to me like there's probably going to be 27 or 28 of them, just judging by where we're at in the story here. I wonder if she's going to get them all in before the deadline. I would think not. And again, like, it doesn't matter. Every one of these is worth probably 20 points, I would say. So she's at like 400 some odd points now, and I cut off at 100. So I didn't tell second period the tithing story. So I've been reading books on the psychology of simplicity. There's one from Nat. Very nice, 32 today. And now 8 in the last hour. Your name is, okay, look right there. So happy to see that. Okay, so cognitive load. So individually, the tasks that we have to perform are, generally speaking, not terribly hard from a cognitive load standpoint. They don't require a lot of calculation. They don't require a lot of focus. They don't require a significant amount of brain power. However, the more of them you have, obviously, that stacks up. And there's Elena again with episode 25, probably. So the cognitive load stacks. So it's one thing to ask somebody to, I don't know, compose a haiku, which is not a terribly difficult thing to do cognitively. But if you ask them to compose a haiku and multiply 2 3-digit numbers and run on a treadmill and so on, what you're doing is you're jacking up the cognitive load, the amount of things that somebody's brain has to keep track of. And the more of those things there are, the more likely it is that they will make a mistake in one of the things that they're attempting to do. Seems reasonable, right? By the way, and this will be episode 25. By the way, the modern generation is convinced that it focuses better when music is playing. This is objectively, provably false for everybody, including you. Um, Even though I have a large number of my dear, dear young friends who insist that they cannot concentrate without music. That's wrong. They can. They probably haven't practiced it, but they can concentrate without music. And if they did, they would concentrate better without music. The more things you strip away, the more simplistic you make the environment, the easier it is to concentrate. The more cognitive load you lay on somebody, the more difficult it is for them to keep track of all the different things that are going on. So, for instance, in my case, where I teach 20, 20 class periods a week at 4 different organizations slash schools, by far the largest number and by far the number one most important one is Leahona. But I have a Monday writing workshop, and I also have a Friday class in Idaho, and of course on Tuesdays and first semester Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I have class at Mount Liberty College, both that I teach, which is thinking and writing and thinking and speaking, my logic, rhetoric, and poetics classes that I teach at Mount Liberty from 1 to 4, well, 1:30 to 4:30. And then, but then I also take a master's class starting at 6, going to 9. So I'm also in school. My final paper, by the way, was 5,000 words. So, and it was freaking good. Hi, Ellie. I teach at what I call the Education Underground in Idaho. It's not a college. It is a, how do I describe this? You know, a Wandering Minstrels worked, and there's Kelly Mesmer with number 33 for the day and number 11 in the final hour. You'd get in a cart, Wandering Minstrel, you'd get in a cart and you'd pull into a town and you would roll down the edge of your cart. And here's Elena with episode 26. A lot of them coming in here right at the last minute. So you would roll down like the side of your, let down the side of your wagon. Bye, Nat. May the 4th be with you. And then you would set it up as a stage and you would hang out your, the great Zambini or whatever on the side of your, I get it. It's cool. You beat the deadline. You're fine. I don't care if it's even like the last minute. I don't have a problem with that. So then you hang out your shingle. The great Zambini plays Mozart or whatever, and then you play your stuff, and people come and they watch you do it, and then you pass the hat and they give you money. That's more or less how I teach in Idaho. I declare that I'm going to be teaching a particular class. I hang that shingle out on aliasmrc.com. And then people sign up. This last time, it was Columbus to the Constitution. It was the class that I taught. It's a couple hours on Friday afternoon. 9 a.m. church. You should probably go to bed. That is true. Good night. Good night. Sleep well and be well, and happy Sabbath to you. I'm a traveling educational minstrel. Yes, that actually is a really great description. So next year is what I call 3 empires. The history, mythology, and architecture, art, etc., lore. Let's just call it lore. The lore of Egypt, Greece, and Rome. Cool, Bryce. Keep going. You got time? You still got a half hour? By my clock, you got 30 minutes. You can make it. I believe in you. Um, anyway, with all of that, and that excludes. I just finished a a book with an Army artillery commander named Parker McCumber. That book I just published. The fifth Tuttle Twins, Choose Your Own Adventure, which I had a copy of here somewhere, but now I don't. I think it's in the car. Got published in February. I'm pitching to the Harmon brothers, to Neil and Jeff Harmon, that I should write the biography of Angel Studios. Among other things, I still have to finish writing the third Trinity Flynn book. I have, I don't know, 2 or 3, 4 or 5 more novels that are written, that are edited, and that need to get published, but I got to do the design work and whatever. And there's all the prep work for all the classes and all that stuff. Anyway, so there's a fair amount of that stuff going on. I also have, community responsibilities. I have a calling for the Church of Jesus. I'm married. I have children. So there's all of this stuff, all this stuff going on. None of it is particularly hard. Ooh, you took your SAT today. How do you think you did? I remember the SAT. So with all this stuff going on, it just increases the cognitive load, right? There's so many things to think about. So I'll find myself getting out of the shower and I will have failed to wash the conditioner out of my hair. Or I'll get in the car to go to school and realize that I left the key in the car, and the car turned on so that I could either put on or take off the top of my convertible or whatever, and now I have a dead battery. Or I left a bag at the house that I was staying at in Boise, and it was, unfortunately, it was the bag that contained Jarvis, this machine here that runs my entire life. Among other things, is I couldn't leave it, so I had to go and beg the check-in people at the Delta counter to take pity on me and book me on another flight, which they did. They were very nice, but with all this cognitive load, stuff starts to drop, right? You can't remember everything, and so you start messing up your calculations. Like when I went to the airport on Thursday night, I left an hour early because I forgot when my flight took off. So I was rushing to get out of the house, like sprinting to the car and leaping in speed racer style, jumping into my car so that I could make it to the airport on time. And I was an hour early because I forgot. Even though I take the same flight every time and I know what flight that is, I even know some of the flight attendants and whatever. No, blew that. Anyway, so about a month ago, back to the tithing story, all that sort of backstory on the tithing story. So about a month ago, I got, the beginning of the month is usually when I pay tithing, because that's when royalty checks come in and I get paid and so on. Cool, that's good. I did really well in the SAT. I liked the SAT. I liked it better than the ACT. That was a million years ago, so I'm sure it's all changed now. But anyway, so I usually pay my tithing. All the checks come in roughly the same time, and then I sit down and add them all up and pay tithing. So I logged in. You do everything online now, and I logged in and typed all my stuff in there and hit the submit button, and a little window pops up. It says, "Dude, are you sure? This seems like a lot of money." Just got banned from Roblox for the 5th time. For doing what, man? So the little thing pops up and says, "Are you sure, dude? This seems like a lot of money." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, of course I'm sure." And I just clicked yes, submit, whatever. This is, by the way, as a quick aside, the fewest number of last minute submissions by a long way. Last year was like 87 or something like that. We're at 33 and there's only 25 minutes to go. There's no way we're going to get even close to that number. Anyway, so hey, James, the not so smart one. Well, he does dress pretty nice. That's true. Hey, thanks for coming and hanging out with me. Ooh, ouch. And you got banned for that? Wow, that's harsh. I'd be banned permanently at Roblox. Jonathan Lewis. All righty. Of course, it's early in the morning for Jonathan Lewis. So anyway, it pops up this little window and says, "Are you sure you want to pay that much tithing? It seems like a lot." I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." There were a million things going on. I was on the phone. I was, I don't know, watching NBA playoffs or something on TV. My wife is talking to me, so I'm just clicking. I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm sure, of course, yeah, I'm sure it's right." Click the button, submit. Didn't think another thing of it until my bank called me 2 days later and said, "Mr. Jones, just calling from out the bank, let you know that you're multiple thousands of dollars overdrawn in your checking account, and we were hoping that we could get that resolved." And I said, "That can't be right. I just got paid. There's no way I'm overdrawn." And they said, "Well, you did present a fairly large withdrawal just a couple of, just today." And I said, "Well, from withdrawal for whom?" And they said, "From the Church of Jesus." I'm like, oh, oh, how much?" And they told me. And I said, "Yeah, can you stop the payment on that?" They said, "No, it's already been drafted." I said, "All right, hang on. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We'll see what to do." So I'll get it resolved one way or the other here. So I went to find my wife and said, "Sweetheart, um, I know you're the math teacher in the family, but I had been thinking." Brooks Burgess weighs in with his 11th submission. Let's see. Brooks submitted a lot of projects this week. 35 now today, and 12 in the last hour. So I said, "Look, I moved the decimal place on my tithing." And my wife said, "So instead of paying 10%, you paid 100%?" And I did some fast math in my head and said, "Yep, that's what that means, all right." Well, you only need to submit one if it's worth 100 points. You need to submit a lot. You can submit a lot of little ones or one big one. I mean, it's okay. You have all the options you want. If you want to submit a lot of little projects, Eva Smith, yay. Then submit a lot of little ones. If you want to submit one big one, then submit one big one. So choose your own adventure. I don't care either way. Anyway, so she said, "That's awesome that you paid 100% tithing." I said, "Well, look, I think we can." She said, "Can we cover it? Like, is it possible?" I said, "Well, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go and scrape all the money loose from all the other accounts and like pour it all into this one thing." And she said, "When you're done, we'll have enough money to buy groceries." I said, "Yeah, you'll be able to pay You'll be able to buy groceries. We'll probably be okay. It'll be close, I think, but we'll probably be okay. And she said, well, in that case, you have a decision to make. And I said, what do you mean my decision? This is our decision. She said, yeah, but this is mostly you have to make this. Thanks, Bryce. Appreciate that. I hope that's true. So she said, basically, you have to decide what you're going to do here. So I thought about it, and probably I thought, probably I can call the bishop and he can like do his magic portal thing he does in the computer and tell them, it's a mistake, and another one from Kelly Mesmer. And but then I kept thinking about it. Kylie and Gage, like literally right on top of each other. And another comment. Let's see if it's somebody who needs help. Sloppiness of the commentary. I did have fun with the projects. Hope you enjoy. We're up to 27 episodes from Atlanta Hall. Cool. We're now at 2 and Kelly's second one. We are at 40 projects submitted on the final day, and we are at 16 in the last hour. 40 and 16. Anyway, so I started thinking about it, and I thought to myself, there are a lot of commandments that God gives us, but there aren't very many of these. And there's Kelly again, 41 and 17. There are not a lot of commandments where God says, you should obey this commandment and you should prove me. You should put me to the test here. But tithing is one of those. So in Malachi, it says, bring all the tithes into the storehouse and prove me herewith, saith the Lord of hosts. If I will not open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing that's so big you won't even have enough room to receive it. So this is what God says. He says, prove it, prove it. I'm giving his commandment. Prove me. Put me to the test. And I thought I could tell the bishop to, cancel it, make a refund or whatever. And then I could take that money and I could put it in the bank. Or I could leave it in God's hands. And I thought about that a lot. I mean, I would have no margin if we had a car breakdown or some kind of a medical emergency or any kind of thing. I would not have any money to pay for it. We would be strapped right to the end. And really, I would be like handing my wallet over to God and saying, you, all that I have, here's everything I've got. I did the math on it, and it was enough tithing that normally I would pay that much tithing by November, around Thanksgiving, every year. So this is like 7 or 8 months worth of tithing I paid. So I really wanted to. I really believe in that scripture. I believe in tithing. So I let it ride. I left it. There was a screw up, but was it a screw up? I don't know. So I left it. But I also, I don't know, maybe it's greedy, but I sat down with my wife and I said, God says to prove him, to like put him to the test here. So should we really put him to the test? What if we really put him to the test? What if instead of saying, well, okay, normally like forecasting ahead, I would have made enough money to owe that much tithing by November. What if we told God we wanted to owe that much tithing sooner than that? And she says, I think it sounds like a great idea. I think God's good for it. I said, I think he's good for it too. So here, you take a calendar, I'll take a calendar, and we'll pick a day when we would like to ask God to make good on his promise on that day. And the day that we picked was one day apart. We were 24 hours of each other. She picked the 15th of July and I picked the 14th. So we went for the 14th of July, Bastille Day is, and then we went to God and said, okay, we gave you everything we had. And we would like to ask you to open up the window. And so that's what we're asking. And so far, we have not had any explosive, huge amounts of money came pouring in. We have not had, kind of watched the 2-minute video. I just finished watching the hour and 10-minute video you sent me before, which was spectacular and amazing, and I loved it. I will maybe that's what we'll do here is we'll watch your 2-minute video. This is only 2 minutes, okay. Anyway, so I haven't gotten any $20,000 checks or anything like that. It would take a lot more money than that to compensate for the amount of tithing I paid. But I just wanted this is both a story about the dangers of cognitive load and having too many things going on in your head at once so that you end up making fairly significant mistakes, but also sometimes our biggest mistakes are opportunities to exercise our faith. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing. Thought you should know. All right, we're into our last 15 minutes here. Hello, Emily. Hey, girl. Okay, hold on a minute. Let's see. Jonathan Lewis, that's going to be here. Okay, now here's another dumb thing. Let me share that back again. Here's another dumb thing that would be really great. It's set up so that it's a great thing, and then it just doesn't work. So here's the deal. So here's my inbox where it sent me an email that said, oh, look, Jonathan Lewis has uploaded an assignment submission in second semester projects. Okay. Gives me this cool little link here. Do I look tired? Wow. Oh, why? That's so weird. I don't know why I would look tired. I was in another state 7 hours ago. So you're supposed to just be able to click on this. I just click this thing right here, and it should take me to that submission, right? That's what the link is for, right? Let me show you what happens when I click on this link. I'm gonna have to stop sharing and then share what the page that it took me to. This has never worked. It has never worked. Yeah, Rickroll. That would be better than what actually shows up, which is this. And here's the thing. There is no email or username or password that I can put in here because it's the wrong domain. It's the wrong login domain here. Schoology, every school has a different domain. This is the wrong domain for Liahona. The only way for me to log into Liahona is a whole nother thing. It's just beautiful. It's great. It's supposed to help me. It's supposed to make it quicker and easier. And what does it do? It makes it's useless. Does no good at all. So we've never been able to fix it. All right, let's go back here and see how many of these assignments Liahona thinks that I'm supposed to have to grade right now. 43. It says 7 ungraded submissions and 36 resubmitted assignments. Am I still sharing that screen? Oh, I'm not sharing that screen right now. Let me load up Jonathan's project here. World Civilizations Geography DE High School. Lewis. Oh, want to see this? Here's another cool thing that Schoology does to me to make this even more complicated and difficult. Watch this. So I go here. Let me go back. Okay, right here. All right. So we know, because we just saw a minute ago, I showed you the email where it told me that Jonathan Lewis had submitted a project. Remember that? Okay. Now I go back here and it says I got 43 projects that I need to score. Okay. I go to resubmitted projects, and this is a resubmitted project because Jonathan Lewis has submitted a project before. Okay. So I come down here and it says here is the World Civilizations DE High School. I click on that. Okay. So far this is very helpful, right? And then I scroll down and notice whose name is not on this list. Oh, I'm sorry. Jonathan Lewis, who I know submitted a project because I got an email that said that he submitted a project. But his name is not on the list of projects that I need to score. Isn't that great? So what I get to do is I get to go to the grade book right up here, which I'm not going to click on because then you'll see everybody's grades. If I click on this grade book, it shows me every student in the class, and then it shows me a column that says second semester projects. And I have to go through that column and click on every single name in the column to find out if there is a hidden project that got submitted that Schoology has forgotten to tell me about. If that sounds like fun to you, send me an email and I will hire you to do that work for me. Actually, I can't do that because I have to do these projects myself. So let's go dig up Jonathan Lewis's project here. So I have to have one window open. I have 4 computer screens here. I have to have one window open over here that has the email that tells me when a project has come in. Jacob Lee Brogan Juber, 2 more projects. We're at 43, Riker Trumbull, 44 projects for the day, and 19 projects now in the last hour. So I keep the email over here to tell me all the projects that have been submitted, because the emails are pretty good. They're unhelpful because I can't click on them and just go to the project. That would be great, but I can't do that. And then I have to then pop their name up in Schoology in one of the 6 sections that I have in Schoology. Remember which section they're in, pop that up, scroll down to their name, click on project submissions, and find their project. It's super easy. It's not hard at all. Takes no time. Yeah. I have donations set up, I wish. Yeah, I just remembered you're not a DE in Schoology. But it does it anyway. That's just an example. It might not be that way for you. And it might not be that way on this particular project. I think your 4th period. I can't remember which period, or maybe your 2nd period. I think you were 2nd period when you were here. But it doesn't matter because it does that stuff to me anyway. Like it just doesn't remember everybody. All right, Jonathan Lewis. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hit the YouTube. All right, hold on. Hey, Jonathan. Shh. Okay, hold up. Let's take a look at Jonathan's project here. Hello, Ella. Hello, Aaron. Hey, guys. Yeah, I got it. Hold on a second. Jonathan wanted me to share his project here. So, special guest Jonathan Lewis and Jonathan Lewis, apparently.
It's Project Deadline! Wait, really? We gotta make a video for everyone to see. That's a great idea.
Oh yeah, let's do this.
Good morning, Leona!
Wow, is that what that's
So excited.
Hey, Brother C. Look, I know it's Project Deadline, and you're really stressed out right now. There's a lot of projects, you know? Well, maybe not today, because it was a weekend submission, but it's fine. Look, I just want to let you know that, you know, we're here for you, and we believe in you. We believe in you. Yeah, we do. So keep going, because you've got this. And never let anyone tell you that you can't. Because you
Wasn't
can,
that playing?
and you will.
It's only a blank
We
screen.
believe in you. Thank you. Keep going. And now here's Rasputin.
Hey, hold up. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Oh my gosh. There you go. I don't know why that won't play, but it won't. That's fast work, dude. That is some fast work. I think I'm going to deduct 30 points from your project score. Your Schoology won't work. It's okay, Bryce. Just email me then. When are we going to finish? I watched all the way to the end. I watched all the way to the end. All the way to where it gave me a bunch of suggestions from the next video that I should watch, which I'm not going to pay attention to because I never pay attention to it. It is 11:59, people. Well, I put the link there. You guys can watch it. You should take a minute and watch it. I don't know why that won't share, but it won't share. Maybe YouTube won't share to YouTube or whatever. Man, you're amazing to be able to do that. We're in the last countdown to the last 15 seconds here. And the last project to get in under the wire appears to be Ashlyn Pearson. Let's see. I will go to inbox. Ella Davidson, Betty Boop project. I love Betty Boop. That should be very cool. That came in yesterday. So if it comes in yesterday, my clock just flipped over to midnight. So if it comes in yesterday, it doesn't record or screen share when you are full screened. Oh, all right. Things you learn. Anyway, there's the link in the chat, so you guys can watch that video if you want to. It's pretty good. So all of these are in our drawing here. And it looks like we got up to, with these last 4 came in the last minute. So in our drawing here, we have 20 projects submitted in the last hour, 47 for the last day. That is about half of normal. But 20 in the last hour is pretty consistent. That's about right. So I'm gonna spin the magic wheel here on my computer, and we'll have a drawing, and one of those projects will be deleted, not scored at all, because it came in just came in too late. And I spin the wheel, and it is James Fox. Sorry, your project will be deleted. You failed the test of the random selection of those projects submitted in the last hour. No, of course, I'm kidding. We will not be deleting anybody's projects. So, but it was just the rubric. Oh, okay. Well, all right then. That doesn't tell me. It just says that something was uploaded to project thing. So I don't know if it was a project or if it was how I know what your project was. Well, maybe I won't delete it. Maybe I'll have to go and look. So I'll go and look here in a bit. All right, people. There you go. That was our super fun live stream from the Batcave here. Thank you for wasting a chunk of your Saturday night. It is the Sabbath, and we should all head off to Carrick Stone, 2 minutes late. Delete. Click. Okay, that's it. Sorry. Oh man, I love Mia. I'm sorry about her wrists. I didn't know that. You're welcome, guys, and good night to you. Blessed Sabbath to you all. And I will be there on Monday. God willing, and the creek don't rise. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. At least you made the last hour like possible to get through. Because I'm not gonna lie, it's been a really long day and a really long weekend. So, but I believe in us, and I believe in you and your amazing projects, and I believe that on Monday I'm going to be paying for this, but it's okay. It's going to be all right. Okay. Good night. I love you all, and I will see you, or you will see me, in 32 hours.